until the Antichrist comes and brings it back. Now, it says that his fatal wound is healed. It was very interesting to look at the words used in Greek for fatal wound, because it's literally talking about the word sphadzo. And this is a word that doesn't just mean to kill someone. It means to brutally slaughter them. And so this person is apparently going to be really ruthlessly and brutally killed. And then, after he's dead, and this, it says, he's going to be brutally killed into death, thanatos. So it doesn't leave any doubt he will actually be dead. No question about it. And yet, it says the world will marvel because it is healed. Therapeuo. We get the word therapy from that Greek word. Therapeuo. He is going, that dead mortal wound is going to be healed. And that is what causes the world to be wondering and following him. Now, here's what I believe. And I'll have to continue this in connection with the false prophet next week. I don't believe this is somebody in history way back there like Julius Caesar, or I don't believe it's Nero or somebody like that. But I do believe this is a contemporary person who is going to be truly put to death. And then he's going to come back to life. And it's going to be it's going to be so public and so well known, it's going to be so documented, that the whole world is just going to be astounded. And after this person is raised, that is when he will begin to demonstrate these extraordinary, miraculous powers. He's made I've always wanted to do a movie, and if God's will is what it's supposed to be done, then he'll raise it. But I've had ideas to do a movie, and if God's will is I've always wanted to do a movie, and if God's will is what it's supposed to be done, then he'll raise it. But I've had ideas about how to depict these things that I think would make the secular world flock to the movie. But I always had this idea of, here's a person. He's known, but he's not known as a great leader. He's maybe very wealthy, maybe a big business person. Also, he's religious. This person is assassinated. And, his death it's a terrible thing. His death is well documented on television and everything else. And to see this person lying in a hospital room, dead, you see the flat line of the heart monitoring machine, all of that go flat. And then while he's lying there, to have this shadowy, powerful presence come into the room and stand over this dead person and then just disappear into his body. And then all of a sudden the camera would focus on his eye, and the eye would open up and have this very strange sparkle in it, And all of a sudden the heart machine starts. You see, I believe that this man could never live without Satan dwelling in him. And all of the things that are said about him show that Satan would have to be dwelling inside of him. Because you can't have personal power of Satan without Satan being there. But the clincher is this. Look with me at this. To me, of all the things I've said, this is the most terrifying. Look with me. Verse 4. And they worshipped the dragon, because he gave his authority to the beast. What is this saying? The world is going to become totally Satan worshipers. A world of Satan worshipers. And they don't know it. Isaiah 14, verses 14 through, that's exactly what Satan's always wanted, to be like God, to be worshipped. And finally he has the right moment, the right person, the right condition, the right situation. We are not far from this happening. This could happen next week. The world's set up for it. There's only one bigger problem. And with this I will close. 2 Thessalonians, so I'm going to give you a little hope to walk out with. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Verse 5. Do you not remember that while I was still with you, I was telling you these things, and now you know what restrains him? Him refers back to this one that's called the man of lawlessness, the Roman Antichrist. It says, and now you know what restrains him now, so that in his time he may be revealed. For the mystery of lawlessness is already working. Only he who now restrains will keep on restraining, literally, until he is taken out of the way. And then that lawless one will be revealed. All right, since the day of Pentecost, there's been a phenomenon that never happened before in history. The Holy Spirit took up permanent residence in every believer on the earth. It started the day of Pentecost, then it spread from the Jew to the part Jew, the Samaritans, then to the non-Jew, the Gentiles. After that transition, every believer, whether Jew, Gentile, or half-breed, every person that received Christ received the Holy Spirit on a permanent indwelling basis the moment they accept Christ. That's why in Romans 8 it says, if the Spirit of Christ does not dwell in you, then you don't belong to him. So, the Holy Spirit has been permanently resident in the world, in every believer. And through that presence, he has, under God's sovereign will, restrained lawlessness. In other words, that's been restrained since the days that he entered. Lawlessness is that movement of Satan to seek to set up the conditions for the lawless one to come in, the Antichrist. But it says he will restrain and keep on restraining until he's taken out of the way. Then that lawless one, the Antichrist, will be revealed. Now you cannot take the restrainer out of the world unless you take the containers in whom he dwells with him. You see? It's the reverse of Pentecost. So that tells us that before the Antichrist can be revealed, you and I have to be out of here. And we will be. And it says that when that happens, it says, verse 9, that is, the one whose coming is in accord with the activity of Satan, with